Hey guys, it's Junior. Welcome back to Horsepower Warehouse. You guys have probably known me for doing classic car builds, but I have such a freaking cool car here today that I would be amiss in not sharing it with the channel. Holy smokes. Can we all just take a second to take this in? You guys know what you're looking at? This is a freaking ZR1. Oh my gosh. So let's get the technical jargon out here. 2019 ZR1 Watkins Glen Gray 3ZR track pack, high wing, carbon fiber, freaking everywhere. Oh my gosh, guys. Now if this car were white, this would be one of my dream cars. Now I do still want a Shelby GT350R in white, but this would be sitting right next to it. That way I have the finest available from both Chevrolet and Ford available at my fingertips. Now we all have our own separate dreams. Why do I want a ZR1 so bad? It's not because this car is so badass out of the package. I mean, it is. It's a 755 horsepower monster. I mean, just for the love of God, look at the carbon on the wing. Oh my gosh. And not only, I mean, look at how symmetrical the carbon comes together at the center of the wing. Good job, Chevrolet. I am certain they did not do that. I'm almost certain that a third-party manufacturer did all the carbon work, because it's just so far beyond what I would expect from a Chevrolet product. Oh my goodness. I mean, the carbon is fantastic. And not only that, but it's not like a body kit where you're gonna push down on it and it's gonna deflect. I mean, you can put significant weight on that and it's not gonna deflect. Not that I would, because I'm sure it's ungodly expensive. But this thing is sturdy. You can tell that at 200 miles an hour and up, none of this is gonna be moving around and flapping. It's all on there, folks. Now it's got the carbon ceramic Brembos that you would be familiar with if you had a Z06 with Z07 package or a Z06 carbon. I've sold both of those variations of these C7s. The C6 with Z07 pack does have an available stage 3 aero package, but I don't think it's available in exposed carbon like this one. It's got the same carbon ceramic brakes, which are just absolutely trying to tear your face off when you really get into it. Pilot Sport Cup 2. These tires come looking that bald. I mean, brand new. Realistically, what should you expect in terms of durability of these tires? Maybe 10,000 miles, if that. I would reckon to say, because this car still has tread on it, these tires have been replaced. This one has 9,000 miles on the car. Oh my gosh. So that's what differs me from your typical YouTuber walking around a car. I build these things. Why do I like this so much? Well, because if you go to the mile racing events, the standing mile or the roll racing, right now, if you want to be fast, you got to have a Calvo Motorsports twin turbo Viper, an Underground Racing or Sheepy Race, or one of those twin turbo Lamborghinis, or you can build a Corvette. Now, when you go to build a Corvette, this is what I'd love to start with. This aero package is absolutely phenomenal. I know the wing is not fantastic for high speed, but you can put the low wing on it and you can get that available on carbon as well. I love the look of the high wing, so I would keep that on for 100% of the time, except for the mile-long racing events where I'm going over 200 miles an hour. That's when I would put the low wing on it. But this is a fantastic package to build upon. Now, I know it sounds crazy, 750 horsepower. To most people, it's probably plenty, but to me, I can't leave well enough alone. That's why I love this car so much, is because, I mean, 1,000 horsepower is really, really easily done with bolt-ons, but this car would do fantastic with 2,500 horsepower. Just an absolute monster. Something that I would feel comfortable in at 2,500 horsepower mark, just dominating. What an absolutely incredible car. Carbon fiber all over the place. 9,178 miles on this. Like I said, it's the 3ZR package, so absolutely loaded. And it's got the track pack, which includes the data recorders, the cameras. Let me show you. It does have the cameras in the front, right there and there, for track recording sessions. I mean, look at how much they bolstered the front just for cooling. The additional cooling in the front, I mean, versus even the already pretty gnarly Z06. This ZR1 is wicked. So let's do a start up for you guys. I'm gonna leave you guys back here where you probably wanna be. It starts up in standard mode, and then I'm gonna put it in track mode so you can hear the mufflers open up as well. Can probably tell it sounds so much better in track mode. If I were to drive this car, and I would daily drive this thing, I would keep it into the track mode. You have the mode selector here. I would keep it, well, actually sport mode. Reason being, it keeps the exhaust open. It's still, I mean, you got so much power, you don't need it in track mode. This does have the magnetic suspension, so sport mode isn't trying to beat you off the road quite as bad as track mode is, and it still gives you the pretty wicked sounding. What a absolutely wicked car. And you guys can hear that track mode. It sounds the exact same. It's got the mufflers open. Sounds phenomenal. Can you guys see the underside of the hood? Check it out. So not only is the center section carbon fiber, and this section is carbon, the entire freaking hood is carbon. Oh my gosh, and it is so incredibly light. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. No fake overlay carbon on this. This is a true performance car, guys. What? This car MSRP'd for 130, I believe, 120 something, 129. What a fantastic, absolutely fantastic deal. I know you can't buy them at MSRP. These cars have always went for over MSRP because it's such an incredible car at the price. I don't question for a second why these things have sold out, you know, at well above MSRP. This one, according to the owner that brought it here for us on consignment, he said that this was the most expensive Corvette ever sold through the large volume dealership that he bought it through. So that goes to say a lot in terms of how expensive this car was compared to other Chevrolets. But relatively, I mean, for 130 grand, how are you going to get something that's even close to this? At 230, at 330, how are you going to get something that competes? And if you're going to say, oh, I'm going to grab a C8 Corvette and I'm going to make it as good as this, good luck. Good freaking luck. I've driven the C8s. I mean, this thing is it's a monster, and it'll take a lot of money for me to be as comfortable in a C8 at this level and beyond, at 2,500 horsepower. I mean, you know, I feel like a C8 would be a heck of a handful, whereas this is a dialed platform that is just ready to tear the faces off of anyone that wants to line up with you. What do you guys think below? Let me know what your thoughts are on this car. You guys know I'm not a sales channel. I just want to put everything that comes through horsepower warehouse, I want to share it with you if I think it's really cool. And if you don't think this is really cool, just don't even bother subscribing to my channel, because I mean, this is the epitome for me. This is one of my dream cars. I would love one day to actually spend a significant portion of my bank account on one of these. My wife willing, but you know, even if she's not, this is one of those cars where I'd probably sneak it in the garage and then kind of explain later. Because it's just that good. It is so good. And is it worth the extra money from a C or a Z06 with Z07 package up to, you know, the premium for a ZR1? Guys, this is a whole different ball game of car than a C6 or a Z06 with Z07 package. I'm trying to say C7 Z06 with Z07 package. It's kind of like a hard thing to spit out when you're recorded. Oh my goodness. What would you guys do with this car? Would you leave it bone stock? Now, my father, 100%, he would drive this car, but he would not touch a single thing. Me, I don't even own this thing, and I'm online looking at bolt-on parts for it, you know? You could spend 10 grand and have this thing at 1,000 rear wheel horsepower with simple bolt-ons, a package that you could buy and just bolt it on, you know, at home. 1,000 horsepower is so simple to achieve on these cars. But I don't know if I'd be happy there. Looking at this, I'd say it needs a minimum of 1,500 horsepower, to be honest with you. And if I had huge money, 2,500. That's how many horsepower it needs. And good luck convincing someone to get into the passenger seat with me driving that thing, because it will be truly a breathtaking experience. I'm looking for something that, you know, is unique, that you're not going to hop in your average Aventador, you know, and I want to be able to scare Aventador owners. And I feel like this could do it. I don't know. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And until next week, take care.